Here is Democratic Gen Z congressional candidate Isaiah Martin, who has removed the issues section of his campaign website. After people began pointing out his promise to protect private healthcare in Israel, the campaign has deleted all mention of his political views. Isaiah Martin is alongside a entire cast and crew of Texas Gen Z for Change Democrats, Zoomers, who went from talking about a radical approach to politics to just straight up being like, I'm going to be the most rugged Democratic Party cutout. Gen Z for Change is good. Don't lump this freak with him. I mean, there are other Gen Z for Changers who are literally working on his campaign. I feel like originally Gen Z for Change was like supposed to be radical as an organization, and a lot of the prominent Gen Z for Changers that left the organization, Sean the Black says she left. Sean knows exactly who I'm talking about. A lot of those who left literally left to become Democratic Party operatives. Olivia is the other one I'm thinking of, yeah. And the funny thing is, like, he's running against an opponent who's like 70 years old, right, in Texas, and she's pro-Medicare for all, and he's not. It's just simply the aesthetics of progress with no actual interest in making change. On September 6th, he had an issues tab. On September 7th, he deleted the issues tab. As of now, the campaign website still contains a link to these issues URL, but the page is now blank after people just like made fun of him because his issues on this issues page were like defending private healthcare and Israel. Oh, here he is with Harlan Crow. Isaiah Martin. I would like to thank the students of the University of Houston for coming along with this journey with me. While I'm disappointed, not Harlan Crow. This is Greg Abbott. I'm thankful for the opportunity to introduce myself to the student body. A year ago, when I thought the idea of creating FTS, I never could have imagined it could have grown as big as it did. I never forget the laughs, friendships, memories, campaign. Thanks for all introducing my life and making my dream of creating a movement on campus come true. I'll always be here. You know that. Hashtag TMC. Here's his campaign, by the way.
We used to take the word democracy for granted. You see, when I grew up, my parents used to take me to vote with them every single time there was an election. You would have thought in all of these years that voting would have gotten easier, not harder. But unfortunately, I'm standing right here at ground zero of voter suppression. You see, right here in Texas, Greg Abbott and his allies have created laws that have taken polling places away from line cooks working the night shift. They've thrown out mail-in ballots from seniors who can't drive, and they've empowered the state to have the ability to overturn election results.
This is the classic progressive aesthetics Democrat centrist position now, is basically like running on a singular issue, and that is make voting easier. And it's true, especially for black people, but poor people in general, across the board, especially in the South, get hit with voter suppression. This is a genuine, real issue. It also happens to be a great one for a centrist or right-wing Democrat to grab onto because it provides zero material change. Stacey Abrams did it, and now Isaiah Martin is running on the exact same fucking talking point. Remember, while the issue in and of itself is real, it is a very real problem. The reason why a lot of like the supposedly progressive people running for the Democratic Party, who in fact are actually centrist or right-wing Democrats, the reason why they run for the, we got to make it easier to vote issue is because it doesn't actually have any tangible policy position that will create material change. It's just simply, we're going to make it easier for you guys to vote, which they should, which is a problem. Okay, I am not against this at all. Please do not misunderstand what I'm saying. It's a real issue in this country, but it's like, we're going to make it easier for you to vote for us so that we can do what? Make it easier for you to vote for us? What are the other reasons as to why people should vote for you? What are the issues? Even like other Gen Z TikTok Biden campaign defending liberals have been shitting on this guy. He makes no policy mentions on environment, which is wild because even fucking Republican Gen Zers are like bringing up the environment. All of those like Beto loving Gen Z guys in Texas, like what the fuck are they doing? This lady is another one. Olivia Juliana, 20, pro-growth progressive, fourth generation Texan, abortion rights advocate. All opinions are my own. Isaiah Martin launched his campaign today with support from voters tomorrow. It quickly became clear that he's a centrist Zionist with a potential Republican sympathies. I'm going over the thread of all evidence below to keep it updated. Here he is in 2020 posting for photos with Governor Greg Abbott. This is at a rally for a GOP candidate, Angelica for Texas, who took tens of thousands from anti-abortion groups and Clarence Thomas's favorite billionaire Harlan Crow. According to his LinkedIn, along with Mark Cuban, one of Isaiah's interests is Republican in brief Trump press secretary Anthony Scaramucci. And it's one of my interests too, so that one is whatever. That's universal. Also, according to LinkedIn, Isaiah worked as a tough on crime Houston DA, Kim Ogg's assistant campaign manager from 2021 to 2022. After she had just defeated a challenger on her left, Ogg has tried to kick a socialist judge off the bench and continues to support the death penalty. This is probably his biggest crime. He said Joe Rogan has the best podcast on air, man. No comparison at 7:30. 2020. In 2022, Isaiah voiced support for suspending state and federal gas taxes. Texas, we feel the worldwide increase in gas prices at the pump. Ask yourself, why hasn't Governor Abbott called a special session to suspend a gas tax? You know what this reminds me of? Bro, he's 100% one of those like r/neoliberal ass Democrats, dude. That's what it is. He seems like one of those guys who's like, I want to be more of a neoliberal than Greg Abbott. Like Greg Abbott is not good enough at doing neoliberalism. He's notoriously pro-police, pro-military, pro-Israel, liberal shill. His only relevance is his attachment to Olivia, to be honest, but that's tea for another time. You are 100% correct. I fully support POTUS proposal to suspend the federal gas tax as well as call the stage suspend state gas taxes to roll the government to grip its wallet during its worldwide price increase along with consumer further action. Yeah, dude. It was the fucking gas tax that was the reason why it was so expensive. Come on, man. This is why I fucking get so mad at r/neoliberal Andes, because the gas tax is so marginal, is so minuscule that like the notion that that is the reason why you're suffering at the pump is so fucking ridiculous. You're right. Here's a banger from him.
You know, I saw the news that Secretary Powell passed away, and honestly, you know, I just got to say, rest in peace to a true American hero. He's always somebody who stood up for what he believed was right no matter what. At a time where, you know, Republicans were calling, you know, President Obama a Muslim, he said, no, he's not a Muslim, but so what if he was? What is wrong with a Muslim child being able to grow up and believe that they too can become president of the United States? It's that kind of leadership that I think that we're missing nowadays in today's climate. And, you know, we got to do better. We need more people like Colin Powell as time goes on. So rest in peace to Secretary Powell, a true American hero. Thank you, and prayers up.
Prayers up. What's up, guys? Prayers up for Jerome Powell. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I mean, he's great. He's great. Obama's not Muslim. He's gay. Yeah, get with the program, brother. It's funny seeing neolibs co-op progressive language so much. If their ideology was so correct in winning a policy, they wouldn't have to adopt language or movement. No, you could be neoliberals who are progressive. Like, what do you mean? That's fine. Neoliberalism is not like antithetical to at least aesthetically adopting socially progressive positions. They're more like, I don't care if you're gay or trans. You can all be servile under a neoliberal organization of the economy. More like, I don't care if you're gay or trans or if you want to get an abortion. I'm fine with all of those things. I just don't think if you're poor, you should get out of that situation because someone has to clean the toilets. Social conservatism, in many respects, has zero to do with neoliberalism. That's why neoliberals are both Democrats and Republicans. Social conservatism is additional seasoning that the Republican Party engages in that gives them an opportunity to distinguish themselves marginally, at the very least, from the Democratic Party. They're both neoliberals. If we're talking about their opinion on how market reforms are not necessary and the free market is actually better equipped at tackling social safety nets than the government is. Also, I don't think it was Colin Powell that said the Obama Muslim thing. I thought it was John McCain, but John McCain also never said, so what if he was Muslim? He said, Obama's not Arab, he's a good guy, as opposed to being Arab, which would have been a bad guy. But anyway, regardless, I don't know. How many times did Bernie Sanders say millionaires and billionaires? Oh my God. Anyway, in April, Isaiah tweeted for the first time about Israel to celebrate its anniversary, potentially in advance of his congressional run. He made several more tweets lauding President Herzog and declaring that Israel is not a racist state this July. His Twitter likes include transphobe Keir Starmer and the fascist insurrectionist endorsing group AIPAC, among others. And now for some of his old TikToks.
Crime is up. And a lot of this has to do with violent repeat offenders getting released out on bond. Back in 2015, in my hometown, some 3,200 people out on bond committed around 6,400 crimes.
There ain't no way this is the music that he's playing right now. Bro, are you serious? He's got the Jenna Marbles vlog copyright-free music in the background like... Whoop, 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 whoop. While these like 3,500 criminals were released from prison to do violent rapes. What the fuck is happening in America? Get Kevin MacLeod at least?
Now, recently that number has skyrocketed to almost 11,000 people committing almost 19,000 crimes. It's completely ridiculous. And so a lot of this has to do with bondsmen financing bonds for people to get out after committing violent crimes for as little as 2% down. So what does this mean? It means that if you have a bond of about $100,000, you can get back onto the street ready to commit more crimes for as little as $2,000. That is wrong. So here's what Democrats are doing to fix it. State Senator John Whitmire is about to introduce a constitutional amendment in place that will make sure we raise the minimum bail percentage to 10%, especially on these violent crimes. It's going to do a lot to bring down the numbers of violent repeat offenders committing all these crimes. It's going to keep our community safer, and it's going to make our state a better place to live. I'm excited to see this pass in this next legislative session.
Ted Cruz's comms teams has entered the discourse. Love to see you supporting someone who supports our great senator. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Like, how do people find these people, man? What the fuck is going on? Then there's the campaign website, which initially included a platform but has been completely deleted. Olivia Giuliano also deleted a tweet of hers praising the abortion platform, as can be seen by his quote tweet. Previous platform highlights included full support for Israel as one of America's longest allies. It hasn't even existed for a century. Support for keeping private health insurance, implying opposition to Medicare for all. No support for making four-year college free. Notably, Isaiah found space in his platform for Israel, but not for LGBTQ rights or for the climate crisis. As these folks noted, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Eliza Joshi, who's like, isn't she like a TikToker? This person? She's the one who went to, Eliza's cool. She's the Gen Z for Change executive director. She's the one who went into the press conference, right?
Excuse me for interrupting.
This one. Yeah. Here.
Hasn't worked out.
A video of a climate change activist confronting White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has gone viral on social media.
1 million young people wrote to the administration pleading not to approve a disastrous oil drilling project in Alaska, and we were ignored. So I'm here channeling the strength of my ancestors and generation. Will the administration stop approving new oil and gas projects and align with youth, science, and frontline communities?
Yeah, no, she's great. But my point is, dude, how are you going to be... I don't even know what to say about it. It's just like the Democratic Party doesn't stop. They don't fucking stop. He went from not even fucking winning his student government election to, according to Dave Weigel, immediately getting $150,000 in funds as soon as he posted this like liberal ass video. This video that got 14,000 likes. Okay, he lost the student election apparently. Here he is. Look, still ruminating on the story. Candidate with cousin Greg-esque resume who bailed on a low-profile city council race, announces for Congress, and immediately raises $130,000 just by saying he wants to be the next Gen Z congressman. Online donors, man. He brought in 130 grand and then fucking deleted the issues page on his website because the issues that he was advocating for were dog shit, centrist Democrat priorities. Note that Texas 18 is a solid Dem district. 70% or so. Yeah. And the person that I think he is trying to unseat, right, is, hold on, I'm gonna give you more information on. This is where he's running. Gerrymander to hell. Chatter. This is welcome to Texas. What the fuck do you mean? Why do you think this is the case? The next Gen Z congressman, former representative's intern on defending democracy in Texas. Of course, MSNBC immediately had him on without questioning him whatsoever and are defending him and promoting him to a larger audience of Democratic Party donors that will turn around and go, oh, you're great. Thank God. 76%, they really got all the Dems in like 5 districts in that state. Yes. Texas districts are that way specifically so that, you know, they can have more Republican representatives. Look at Texas District 2. Famously looks like an eye patch. It's not designed to look like an eye patch specifically because Dan Crenshaw is their representative. It's designed as an eye patch to make sure that they maximize the amount of white voters that vote Republican. Anyway, in gerrymandering, you don't want to max your voters. You want to concentrate all the black votes into a few districts and spread out the others so they're just barely not a majority in any other district. You concentrate your enemies so their votes are washed. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I said, but that.
I'm Amanda Edwards, and I'm excited to announce my candidacy to serve as the next Congresswoman for the 18th Congressional District. I'm a native Houstonian, an attorney, and former at-large Houston City Council member. I'm running for Congress to ensure that we have leadership that places people above politics and delivers the results that we are looking for and deserve. I was raised in this district. My family's from this district, and I live in this district. I know firsthand so many of the challenges that we face, and also the opportunities that lie ahead. I'm committed to resolving those challenges and seizing the opportunities. My parents' battles with cancer taught me firsthand that for so many Americans, access to healthcare coverage is an issue of life or death and not just some political chip in some political game. After Harvey, I was able to roll up my sleeves and get to work to help some of our most vulnerable residents get back on their feet. But so many of our residents still remain in need. My work to reduce disparities that women and minority small business owners face also opened my eyes to the fact that so many people in our community.
The access to healthcare coverage. She brought up minority businesses. When talking about the trials and tribulations that her parents went through, she mentioned only cancer and not like poverty. I don't know anything about her, but it's like, why the fuck are all of these like deep blue districts, all of these fucking deep blue districts in like the deep red South littered with candidates that are like, they're littered with candidates that are just not looking to change anything.
Who own small businesses are still in need of policy solutions so that they can thrive in this new normal after the pandemic. Education is important. In fact, I know that firsthand, having graduated from Eisenhower High School in the Aldine Public School District to Harvard Law School. It's critically important that we remove the barriers to education and opportunity and then instead provide pathways.
Like, there is a way that neoliberals speak when talking about issues that immediately trigger the fuck out of me, where it's like, we need to remove barriers to education is literally fucking a school choice take. Like, why don't you just say we need to beef up our public institutions? Remove the barrier to education and go in either direction. Providing pathways to education, removing barriers to education is quite literally a deliberate choice of words, which means just like helping small businesses is a trigger word for me, just like access to care and coverage is another trigger choice for me. I don't even know what her policies are, but immediately as soon as I see this, I'm like, this is such focus tested right-wing Democrat bullshit.
Ways for success. Together, we can build a community that is bold, that is innovative, that's inclusive, where we build each other up instead of tear each other down. But it's important that we elect leadership that will ensure that we don't just live in our community, we have to thrive in our community. And I'm running to become your next Congresswoman so that you can get the results that you deserve.
It's a real problem in the South. I've asked the same question a million times. I don't know if it's because of Clinton cynicism or that Dems here are just more conservative generally. No, I think that these districts aren't blue because these people running in those districts are conservative. If that was the case, then Henry Cuellar wouldn't have almost fucking lost and needed Nancy Pelosi's help to push him across the fucking finish line against someone who literally interned for him and was infinitely more progressive, like Jessica Cisneros, with very little experience. Henry Cuellar is an institutional blue dog Democrat who is the most conservative Democrat in Congress. He is literally anti-choice. I believe he might be the last anti-choice Democrat in office. I think primaries are very low turnout, so it's hard to beat these leeches. You're wrong. In my opinion, the best opportunity you have is to sneak a fucking rugged socialist into a deep blue district that these guys are not even thinking about. That's how AOC won. That's how a lot of the squad, that's how they won. You gotta sneak people with really good ground game into deep blue districts. Doesn't matter if they're in the red South. Doesn't matter if they're in blue ass fucking states. If anything, it's more difficult to sneak them in actual blue states. It is infinitely more difficult to actually sneak them past the Democratic Party because the New York machine is powerful. The California machine is powerful. You can definitely, I always am an advocate for DSA backed or PSL, whatever backing, doesn't matter. Like socialists to run for local office and state office. It's infinitely easier for socialists to win local and state office positions. Those races are much smaller, much more airtight. But when I talk about like representatives, for example, or when I talk about maybe not a senator, but definitely representatives, you have the opportunity to run in a deep blue district in the South and openly flip a Democratic Party seat. All you have to do is evade the scrutiny from the national party. That's what you need to do. Every single squad member that won did exactly that. And once they're in the national spotlight, they are very popular in their districts. So it becomes very hard to unseat them, especially because the Democratic Party can't openly spend a shit ton of money to unseat popular young congresspersons because that also doesn't look great. They become entrenched in those same seats in the same exact way that the prior institutional Democrat was. What's keeping socialists from doing this? Like, could I just LARP as a hog until I get elected? No. You you can run in these positions. You can actually run for a seat like this and actually win in a seat like this. They kind of wrecked Mondaire Jones with the old guy. Well, that's when the National Party becomes more aware of somebody getting primaried out, okay? You're 100% correct. Young progressives can win in deep blue districts with a strong field-based campaign. That's how Maxwell Frost won. Yes. At this point, small business class is so small it actually makes no sense to focus so hard on them, and they vote overwhelmingly red. The reason why they focus on small business is because it's a former American, like pro-America talking point. Small business is what pro-capitalist Democrats and Republicans point to when they're not actually talking about small business. They're talking about big business, but they can't defend big business. So they say small business because the interests are the same. Small business and big business interests are aligned. Capital owners have the same exact interests. Here, hold on.
You see, when I was in college, I led the way for our football stadium to be used as a polling site. And just this past year, they introduced a bill to ban polling sites from college campuses. So trust me when I tell you, the attack on democracy is real. And I don't want you to think for a second that this is just a Texas thing. Because what we're seeing right here in Texas is just a snapshot of what's going on all across the nation when extremists with no vision try to hold onto power with division. Now more than ever, we need the federal government. I want you to know whether it's strengthening voting rights, protecting our kids from mass shootings, or empowering people on when, if, and how they become a parent, we can tackle big issues when we're relentlessly focused on the future.
Damn, bro, this is some Pete Buttigieg ass fucking bullshit. Hell yeah, dude. We're gonna start thinking about making decisions that are really important and profound changes are coming on the decisions that we're about to make, okay? You don't understand. If and when I'm elected, I will tactically ascertain whether or not we make these good decisions. It's fucking... The Democratic Party at least is like upgraded, and they realize like one avenue that we need to focus on is the top of the hour ad break, like I said, which comes to the top of every hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe.